We will call the meeting to order. Could I get a roll call, please?
Martin Danielson.
Eva Karlstrom.
Scott Meredith.
Chris McCullough.
Elaine Woodhurst-Sloat.
Jerry Ogburn.
The posting of the agenda.
Thursday, February 19th, 3:30 p.m.
Approval of the minutes from January 27th.
Make a motion to approve the minutes of January 27th.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None. Minutes are approved. We'll move on to communications. Public comments. You have 3 minutes if you'd like to make public comments. None. Written communications of any kind. Move on to reports. Do we have any board reports? Staff reports? Public reports?
I have a staff report.
Yes.
Now remember, on March 11th, we're having our birthday party for VillageFest.
That time of the year again.
That time again, yep. So everybody gets to come down and help eat birthday cake.
Okay, and everybody should come down and have birthday cake and enjoy the Village Fest.
I'm the guilty party here. My clock.
I was going to say, please turn off cell phones, but you never know these days. Item 6 is goals for 2004 and 2005. We're going to move that to the end of the meeting. So we'll move on to applications for consideration, review, and determination. When we call your name, please come and stand over here. Bring your samples, your receipts, any appropriate things you need to show us. And we'll begin with Spring Designs, slumped glass vases. Hello.
It's heavy. I brought some photos. Should I?
Photos,
Receipts. Receipt are from January 2004.
Okay.
The receipt from last year at the accountant. And this is a new one I just did. Actually, this is still my sample piece. I have not shown anywhere yet, but here.
So is this a new venture for you? Or?
This is actually a new style for me. This one. No. I've been doing this for a little while. My husband and I.
Predominantly what you want to exhibit at Village
Right.
Fest.
I have other parts. The glass that's forgot the base. I'll start with scratch. Each of the glass I use 1/4 inch thick clear glass, and they come in sheets, or sometimes I get them all ready, meaning that they're swiped and cut the size that I need. So they come either like this, or if they're smaller like this. And then I have molds like this, that these I ordered. I designed them and I have them made.
The molds?
Right, the molds. And then also, depend on what shape, like this one. Okay. Ouch. Okay, so the glass, once it's all ready, I place over the mold. I stick into the kiln, which there's some photos there. And when they're done, they form into their shape instead of this one. And that's part of it. And then we seal the two together. And some with UV glue, some with UV light, and then some are just regular waterproof silicone. You gotta cover the glass.
Where is this facility in these pictures?
It's Los Angeles.
Is it a warehouse? Or?
Yeah, it's a shop that I share with 3 other people. There's 3 parts of the shop. It's off the Florence, off 110 freeway. All my receipt have my shop address on it too.
When I saw the unique sunglass vases, I wasn't expecting this. These are different. They're more geometric and.
It's more contemporary, more, if people are looking for more, all my stuff, and then I continue, I have more stuff. And then the base, I do custom for customers, so anything that they design themselves, they want me to do, I can try to work with them. All the base I use start from 1/4 to about 5/16. My husband helped me with all the metals too, so. Everything comes in bars, flat bars, or solids like this. Everything's hand forged. Each design, once we know that's the design that we're going to be continue using, I have a mold that's made. But this, my husband can do it himself. I don't know if you guys need to see these. And each piece is bent like this into the mold.
So what would you sell a vase like that for?
I'm thinking about 125.
And how much bigger and how much smaller do they give?
I'm probably gonna do something one size big, like this one right here. I have this one right here, and these are made with just a clay mold. It's like a sample mold, and I'm thinking about something even bigger. So probably like 165. Not for sure on these two prices. I have other pieces, and they range from maybe like 65 to about 200. And then each piece, including the feet, start with flat bar to every piece. And then we weld it together. And once every piece or every part is ready, we also have assemble mold to assemble them together. So this is what I do.
How many different pieces do you have?
Right now I have about total 12 different pieces, different sizes. Maybe same mold, I can try to make it a little bit smaller, and some of them a little bit bigger. But if it's the most bigger, I can try to make them a little smaller, but not the opposite way. So that's why I do a little custom work for the customers.
Do you sell them any other place other than your shop in Los Angeles?
Oh, I don't sell it at the shop. It's not a storefront. It's a little. Yeah, it's not.
Have you ever displayed and merchandised the products before?
Yes.
Do you have a setup for it, or?
Yes, I've done other shows. I've done a lot of other art festivals.
But you've never shown this.
This
particular
piece, this is my new style, and also this piece, which I forgot the base.
What is a vase going to be?
Sorry. The base obviously will be round. I haven't decided if I want the feet curving out like this or curving in, or exactly how I want to do it. But a lot of time I do, let's say, if they don't like curving out, curving in, or whichever, I can make it differently for them. So there's different custom, I can work with customer, and I do all different finishing. The photos, some of them have different finishing of like patina or copper. Everything's made with steel. So I don't have, like this one's not balanced, but anyway, everything's made of steel. So even the copper colors or the patina green, everything is different solution I use. So different, I use Paralife for the patina, just different stuff I use. And all the metal has been primed. This is one piece that's primed, and then different finish over it. So
I think they're very interesting, and I make a motion to approve.
Do we hear a second?
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None. All right, we'll see you down there.
thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, I do have another question, sorry. I have other sketch I'm gonna continue designing. Do I need to show you guys this now? Just in,
No,
or-
when you have items that you would like to
I need to-
add to your
Right.
booth, you need to come in and have them approved.
It's only if they're radically different, though.
Right.
But they're same stuff, but just different shapes and different, do I need to show you guys now, or?
If it's in the same context of what you're showing us here.
Right,
I think
it's gonna
that's
be,
fine.
it's just probably gonna be rectangle versus
Oh, that's-
square or whatever.
Yeah.
So I didn't know, okay.
That just makes it more interesting, obviously.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right, just making sure.
Thank you. Uni Radio Organization.
out of the way.
Not here. Me and back. Not here? Debbie Owens, Gord Art. Hello.
Some pictures for you. I've never done any art shows before. I just started this about 5 months ago, and so they're all different, basically. This is a wood burning on a gourd.
Just, Elaine will give you a
Elaine will
I don't know if you need to pass that around or... Okay. I have about 6 that are animal wood burned, and then I do painted ones where I would burn the item and then paint it. Buy the gourds, cut them, clean them, process them. Some are just paint. Some are candles. Some are more natural, with just stains and stones. A little wood burning.
They're very vibrant for gourds.
I have some that are really vibrant.
Your colors are very, very unique to gourd art.
I see that I brought mostly plain ones. This
Well, your
is the
photographs
candle.
though kind of show too.
Yeah. I have about 40 or so, I think, that I've finished. This one's about 100. These are 35, 40, depending on the amount of time I put into them. That one took about a week of wood burning.
Pass it around.
Sure. Some are leather dyes. That's a gel dye. Some are just acrylic metallic paints. It should be, unless I forgot one of them. I started out, I just took a class a few months ago and I really liked it. Then I took some wood burning classes and liked it, and now I do it all the time.
They're nicely done.
Yeah,
Discussion.
I love there isn't just a specific thing about the work. I
No,
mean,
in fact,
you've
it's
got
crazy.
things you add on and put on them that shows a lot of imagination.
Oh, thank you. I have
This is-
more that didn't get photographed, but I didn't have time.
Can't wait to see them.
Look at this.
Is that the painted one?
It's kind of geometric. I don't know.
Yes. That's all acrylics. It was wood burned and then painted and then varnished.
Any discussion, or would anyone like to make a motion?
I move that we approve.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None. We'll see you down there.
All
Welcome.
right. Thank you.
Thank you. Dromos, mosaics.
guys are approved before 5 o'clock, you go down and get your VillageFest permit, and your liability insurance, down the business license. So I see a lot of you guys have drove it 3 and 4 hours
$300.
away, yeah. So that way you don't have to come back and start VillageFest.
Thank you, Elaine. Yes.
Looks like we're moving in, but we're not.
Hello.
How are you?
Good.
We do mosaics, and we have a few molds, and this is a mold here for one of our platters. And this is another mold that we have, and we pour the plaster in, and the rubberized so the pieces come out. And for one of our platters,
This one.
this is what comes out of the mold. And we actually do 2 different types of finishes. We do a mosaic, like this, and we also do just the full finish, a paint job on them. And the stones and glass we cut, and these are, it comes in a big piece of rock, and we cut them down to smaller sizes that we can work with, and we have tile cutters and yeah.
So you have a picture of some pedestals. Would you be displaying these pedestals also?
We could.
We could. We also have
We do all sizes.
iron stands or whatever. And there's a smaller piece. And they're all hand cut. And a lot of these smaller plaque type pieces are
This one.
like this. We take and draw the designs on
Are you showing anywhere now?
in our store. That's the only other place that we do.
Okay.
And this started as some wood and a mirror
So where's your store?
in Cathedral City on Perez Road.
It's heavy.
You see?
A lot of that.
You guys need to turn that off.
Not being a Palm Springs business and having these commercially available in a retail store, how do we sit with that?
We don't.
What?
We don't have it in store.
We don't. The only thing that was in the store was the big platter
Oh,
right
okay.
now.
So you really don't display these in your store?
Just the big platter.
Did you want me to see?
Yes, please. Do you ordinarily sign these? We like to see things signed when you display them, because this one's not signed, so I just want.
We just started, and these are,
Okay, but you ordinarily sign your pieces?
yes, and date.
And those are your own molds
Yes.
We have about 15 molds that we own.
that you created yourself?
Well, we had the molds made.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Your
For the
Yeah.
plaques. Can you show the stone?
do you have in your store? You could the city, what do you guys, what's the store?
Home accessories.
Oh, okay. Well, why don't you have the rest of them displayed on in your store?
We don't show stuff that we do custom. We do it for clients.
Oh, okay.
Any other discussion, or?
I make a motion to approve.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None? All right, we'll see you down there.
Thank you very much. We do a board discount.
Yes, you're right.
Before you do- just before you do your 700.
Dan's Designs. Sculptures by McGee. Hand carved painted.
Ivory soap.
Ivory soap. I thought it was soap. Hello.
Hello. This is my informative sign. Tells everybody.
So is the main thing that you would like to be approved today is your soap carvings?
Yes.
I assume that's what's in those little boxes.
Yes. I have refrigeration magnet types that put them on your refrigerator if you like, or they're freestanding. This is just an example of the magnet one. So it's like that.
Could you pass a couple of them around?
Yes, I will. These are the ones that are not magnetized. I
Those are
brought,
soap?
yes, these are ivory soap.
Do you show anywhere at this time, any other shows, or?
No. No, I just make them for gifts and, at this point, anyway. There's a little guy with a big guy.
You actually start with a bar of soap.
Yes, here's my, here's my diagram.
Why
with the-
soap of all things, just out of curiosity?
Because it's the,
It's just
it's a
soft
real
and it's easy
easy
to-
medium to work with, and that's the process that I go through to do that.
Softer than soap stone.
Yes. And
It's very unusual. That's for sure. I've never seen anything.
they make great gifts. You can make them into refrigeration magnets, like I said, or tree ornaments. You can put them on a picture frame. And they have a longevity. These I made over 30 years ago.
Really?
So they don't necessarily have to be in the case to survive, so they can.
I know. Do you treat it with something after you paint it, or what happens
Yes,
if you
I-
get it wet?
Nothing will happen because you put an acrylic paint on it. You paint it with acrylics.
Not just,
And then I put
Seals it
a
somehow?
sealer, a varnish on the top.
Verathane.
Yeah, very thin.
that would be so sad if it got wet.
I don't,
You wouldn't
they
say-
are, they're somewhat fragile. You can't, just because you say it's soap, you just can't. You have to treat them like, and I do anything that's, can be drawn, actually. I've got lots of them if you want to see them all. Here's a tree ornament. Then I do Indian stuff. There's a couple of ladies that and whatever, and here's another tree ornament, different way of doing that. They look real great on the tree.
Do you use dyes to cut your shapes?
No, that's all hand done. Where's my, here's the pictures of my carving, and then on the back is my painting, and then a little display.
Me too on there.
I use a X-Acto knife, a paring knife, and then of course the secret carving tool, which is a wooden flat toothpick. That gets me through into the more detailed areas that the X-Acto won't go through.
Do you have photographs of you making these?
Right there.
Thank you.
Look at these.
These are pretty intricate. How are you going to be able to handle inventory? Do you have enough?
Right now I have about 200 made. I do custom orders, and
How long does it take you to make something like the?
something like him. Probably on the carving aspect, maybe about 4 hours if I sat and did it straight through, and then the painting would probably be another 3 to 4 hours as well. So,
Fascinating. Would you consider actually doing some demonstration of the carving?
yes. I have also taught this in schools, so
Yeah.
4th graders, and they were great, fantastic.
Excellent.
You also would like to show us a one-of-a-kind designer beaded crystal and stone jewelry, which I see here.
I have about 500 pieces, 95% of which are my own designs. A few of them are from friends. But, and I also make, most of my stuff is jewelry, but I also make beaded bottles, candle skirts, beaded lampshades. But I don't have any of those right now. I've given them all away. But I have necklaces, earrings, bracelets.
We can pass around
These
individually.
pouches, this is all your beadwork?
Yes. Yeah, we
She's
do.
on that little photo sheet as to,
Yeah, pictures of me.
Is this your own female work?
yes, that is her.
Yes.
own thing.
And a lot of my big pieces are signed. I sign them like this, with my initials, see JD there. Or,
Can I take this one over there?
or they're signed like this. See, I sign them like this with my initials, JD.
There's a lot of work there.
Yes.
I think it's safe to
Three
say.
different types of female beads on that? Three different types of female beads on that? Is that what it is?
Different colors.
I have 6 boards like this with jewelry. And I have about 20 of these boards and a bunch of these, I don't know how many.
Take a look at How much would that one sell for that has the flamingos?
Flamingos?
The flamingos,
Mhm.
that's my most expensive one. It took me a month to make. I don't remember what I put on it. $8.75, and they're different on the back.
You turn them over and they have a different scene.
Well, most of your pieces that I'm seeing are definitely, our guideline is 75% handmade. Bead stringing we don't allow, but this is far, far more intricate.
Mine's all handmade.
Yeah, the seed beads are just so much work.
Yes.
My issue with the earrings, some of the earrings, is the handmade aspect has to supersede the I don't know how to put this. Rather than assemblage, your artistic development has to override the assemblage. And some of these pieces, definitely, it does that.
Well, I beat them all.
That's not, I don't think that's the ones he's talking about. See the little flags out?
The little.
See that one, the little flag? Okay,
Yes.
then go to the next card over. That one. That's, I think he's
That
talking
is,
more about
that
like
is
that.
assembled, yes.
Yeah, that's the ones he's talking
Yes,
about.
that's
is those.
assembled. And, let's
You've
see,
got some of those in there.
that's assembled.
Right. Cross
And
ones up there with a
that's assembled, yes.
So you kind of understand what we're after here.
I see, yeah.
So those would,
But I would say 95% of my stuff is beaded, I don't have too much assembled,
but you can't have any assembled.
Can't have any
Can you
assembled.
pass these on
Oh,
display?
Could you please pass this blackboard with these necklaces around also, please?
those are made out of Swarovski crystal.
It's the main design of the actual pendant I like to look at.
Yeah.
Because there again, if that is intricate to the point where it supersedes simple bead stringing, then they would be acceptable.
Supersedes what?
Simple bead stringing, just an
In
assemblage.
other words, we
Oh.
can't just.
Yeah, I put the pendants together with crystals.
We've approved other things, like that one lady had that were like this but larger, the funny lady.
Oh, the big heart lady.
Yes, the big heart lady.
French. You obviously have enough inventory minus those pieces.
I
that you
have about
said.
500 pieces.
So even if you took out the assembly,
Yeah,
which we're
Right,
you're
right.
still good to go.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I have 6 boards like this and very few assembled.
Where do you sell now?
I haven't.
Just making an inventory.
Up to
are
now,
you?
it's just been a hobby and
Making
for my
gifts and things.
grandkids and everything, but
And the rooms are
so this is just starting.
Like I don't believe the candle holders would be acceptable.
Well, this is what I
Candles.
make. They're candle skirts, see?
Oh, you just make the skirt.
I just sell the skirts.
I see.
Yeah, this is just to demonstrate it.
Gotcha.
And I have those in all colors. And
Well,
I move we accept designs for the VillageFest.
Okay,
I would second on the condition that, again, the assemblage.
take away what's assembled. Okay, okay.
it keeps your booth real unique, real original.
Okay, okay.
Do I have a second? Did you second?
Yes, I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None.
May I make just one suggestion? I mean, the pieces are really very, very pretty. The white background and the simple carding, you might consider getting another card, whether it's in a gray or something, so that it sets the pieces off a little bit, because the white kind of overwhelms and takes away from the beauty of the individual pieces.
You mean
The cards,
the
the back-
cards
the
should be
back-
different, or the background?
The background color.
The background, okay.
There's a lot of white.
Okay. I had this black, and then I just glued some gray felt on, so.
I think he's referring more to the actual cards.
The actual card itself, that the jewelry is mounted on, where you have the white.
Yeah.
You might look at another way of presenting them that would be a little bit more sophisticated. The white takes away from the beauty of the individual pieces.
Oh, do you have a suggestion?
Well, I mean, gray is very good. You can get a darker gray if you're going to mount them on a lighter gray like this. A darker gray can look very nicely. There's some very like pale taupes that are very nice with jewelry. It's a shame because they're so beautiful. If you have a large white space around it, it kind of takes away from it.
You know what he's talking about?
Yeah.
Okay.
You figure it out, right? Thank you very much. We'll see you down there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sunfirst GMAC Real Estate. Hello.
Hello. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for allowing me to present to you on behalf of my organization. My name is Mark Lang. I'm a realtor with Sunfirst GMAC Real Estate. The purpose of what we would like to do is to provide tangible information services to those people that visit the VillageFest who have an interest or may have an interest in real estate purchasing here in our desert community. What we would like to do is, within this pamphlet is broken into two sections. The left side is how we have a plan on setting up our space. The right side has obviously the outline of my presentation along with some copies of information that we would use to get information and be able to provide that service for the people that stop by. What we would do is we'd break down our space into 4 different staging areas. The first staging area would be called, "What is my home really worth?" We would have them fill out a simple form that we would use to put together an immediate comparative market analysis using our laptop computers and multiple listing service to give them a pretty accurate idea as to what their home is actually worth. For those people that are visiting from outside the area, they can fill out the form and we would send it to an agency or brokerage in the area in which they live, and they would give them that information. The second staging area would be called Find My Dream Home. In this area, they just fill out a form, they give it to us, we would enter the information into our multiple listing service, give them an immediate idea of what is available out in our market that fit the criteria and the needs that they're looking for. And the third staging area is called How Much Home Can I Afford? Working with Franklin Loan Center, we've put together a fairly simple home shopping guide, which helps us figure out how much house they can afford based on how much they want to spend every month on a mortgage payment, and taking into consideration weekly updates on loan rates. We tell them exactly, or give them a pretty gosh darn good idea how much house they can afford based on their monthly mortgage payment. The fourth staging area would be a display, a representation of what is available in each of the cities out here in our community. Representation of the low, medium, and high ranges for each city. Our booth would be manned by the real estate agents in our office. It would also have a weekly cooperation with a service associated with real estate, let it be mortgage center, home inspection company, title companies, pest control companies. They would on a weekly basis sponsor our event, and they would have an opportunity to display and provide information on their services to those that stop by. Again, actually that's it. Are there any questions?
So the latter part, you're going to have different companies in your booth, like you said, Exterminator, etc.
Exterminator, mortgage company, it could be a title company. They would be our sponsor for the week, and they would
all these services that relate to a real estate experience. So let it be, let's say, Franklin Mortgage Center. They would be there and they could be available to answer questions about mortgage loans, or it could be an extermination company or home inspection company that would be there to provide information on their service to help answer questions about how it relates to the whole real estate.
But the booth itself would stay the same.
Primarily,
You'd see
yeah.
the listings and.
Exactly. It would be the forward staging area with a highlighted area for those that help. Basically what it is the people that sponsor us for the week are helping absorb the cost of the booth itself. In turn, we have sort of like an opportunity for them to promote what they have to offer.
Can I just interject, and I will disqualify myself since I'm a competitor with Windermere Realtor. I just have one concern, and this is really well done, by the way.
You've thought it out.
You really thought it out, and it's really well done. If you all are familiar with the kiosk out at the shopping center, which is run by one of the realtor companies, it is a full setup office, in essence, in the middle of the shopping center. I have a little bit of a concern here because this is basically an office, because if you're going to sit down and do everything that you've just described, that's basically what you do with a client in your real estate office. The current one real estate company that is displaying and is downtown basically shows listings from the MLS of what's available in the community across the valley. You're getting into an awful lot of technical detail when you're sitting down and actually planning and going through what is your house worth, you know, what could you buy. I mean, you're getting into some pretty deep areas of sitting down and working with a client. And I'm not saying that that's wrong, it's just that this is really an auxiliary office of a real estate firm because of what they're planning on doing, and I'm not saying it's bad, okay, because this is the way real estate is presented. But it's pretty in-depth to sit down and go through this with a client, and I'm not sure whether we want to go to that depth. We don't really have that kind of exhibition demonstration down in the VillageFest yet.
May I add? What we were trying to do actually was to get away from just having 3 pillars located in our area that displayed information that you can obtain from the internet that's readily available from anyone that has computer access. We wanted to be able to provide actually something more, to be able to provide something that is a little more tangible that they can take with them to assist them in whatever it is they may happen to be. Figuring out what they can afford. This 3-page document here, it's extremely easy. It would take 2 seconds if someone came up and says, I want to spend $1,000 a month, I have 10% down, and how much home can I afford? Well, you could afford a home around $145,010, give or take.
You know, our concern is the overall display. What
Okay.
it looks like as you walk by. So you're gonna have laptops?
They're just small portable laptop. I have one in there in case someone wants an on-the-spot CMA done. And again, just very general because we don't know all the specifics. We haven't seen the house. Just in case something they want to take with them, they can print it out and they can go away and move on to the rest of the VillageFest. The space itself, we're having some really nice signs done from Signorama out in Palm Desert. And this says, how much is my home worth? Or help me find my dream home. And again, these are just, instead of looking at a poll that shows them what's available in their community, in their city, we'd actually be able to provide them with a list of properties that somewhat fit within the criteria and their desire,
So it's
and they
more
can take it
interactive.
with them, right? And they can take that away and go visit Windermere or Tarbell or whoever and meet with their real estate agent or just have an idea about what's going on. Personally, whenever I go to a resort community, I love passing by and checking out to see what's available in the community,
That's
see
what I
how much the
enjoy
homes
about
are.
having the realtors
Right.
at VillageFest.
And that's what we're trying to do, is to be able to somewhat fine tune what it is that they might have an interest in.
Be more interactive.
As far as subleasing the booth, I don't think that's allowed though, by the way. I mean, I don't think he could go ahead and get his own sponsor.
It's really not
There's a
subleasing. What it is that there are service industries to the retail industry that people, if you're going to give them information, they need to know. And the suppliers, like the Franklin Loan Center, supply the data. title companies, escrow companies supply the data that the real estate companies themselves do not generate. So therefore, it is not, they're not really co-sponsoring it. They're just making their people available there with information that they generate that is useful in terms of backing up, like the CMAs that he's talking about, which is the comps. It's useful information, and it's traditional. I mean, you will find lenders and escrow companies and title companies everywhere, and they're always together because different ones of them provide different kinds of information. So that's not really.
Yeah, but if he's
And
gonna
the
go ahead and
question is
give a
probably
bug ban
signage.
to, he's gonna go to like a bug ban company and have, like, we wouldn't allow that offhand.
Yeah, I think we would have to keep this to suppliers that support the real estate industry itself, not necessarily outside vendors that you might align yourself to.
So a title company or
Contractors and
escrow
things
company
like
or
that,
mortgage
yeah.
company that's directly related to the actual transaction would be allowed.
I think there's something more than that. If you are gonna have, if this is going to be your booth, but you're gonna have signage for these other vendors, then
On it, in the scope of things, it would be a very small area. It's just an opportunity for us to say thank you for helping us incur the cost. Here is an area for you to put some literature that's associated with this whole real estate venture that someone could possibly be part of.
not large signage.
No, no.
It is traditional also that where legally, that where they are legally allowed to do it, they will participate in shared costs on promotional materials. There are restrictions that the California Real Estate Board has that they can only do certain things, but they do it. I mean, they'll have nice folders from Franklin Loan Center, and there will be materials from other vendors. My only concern here, and please, I'm disqualifying myself, but I just don't want this to become where we're sitting down and dealing with a client and selling them real estate in an interactive kiosk. I think the interactive kiosk is great. I mean, and real estate is the hottest thing going in this valley right now. Everybody wants to know about it and talk about it.
And my concern is the overall look of the booth.
It would be extremely professional. Once you were able to provide us with the okay, we'd get the signage made and we'd show it to you to make sure that it's up to your specs, but it would be black background with very, very professionally done signage that would make for a very attractive kiosk, not something that's put together with wooden poles and paper clips.
I'm okay with it, based on the things we've discussed, personally.
I don't have a problem with it.
I have a problem with the sponsoring issue. Isn't there something, I mean, theoretically, anybody could go out and get their own sponsor.
Yeah, technically, we haven't had anything more than what, like, one sponsor in a booth.
Whoever the booth is the booth. I mean, I
Right.
don't-
Well-
he
That's like
can't-
Tarbell doesn't have
He can't go ahead and
several
go.
mortgage companies
Exactly.
and a pesticide company.
Well, in this case, Tarbell does, because they own their own companies. The problem is that real estate agents cannot give financial information out. It is
Right.
against
Get it
law.
off the internet.
Therefore, you've got to have it from a bank. You've got to have it from a
But the
source.
information is him going in.
But the information he's giving, you can get on the internet.
That's true. It's just that agents
Basically, I do it all the time.
cannot give financial or
I thought
legal
you
or
had to do
anything
that.
like
Yeah,
that
I
in
have
terms of
those.
information.
Well, they would be the sponsor. I mean, no one would
Yeah,
know.
but somebody would be paying him for the booth here.
Right, but they would be responsible for it, and they would be the sponsor. As far as someone else, in this fourth area, having a little area that was kind of in the background, I'm okay with that. As long, I mean, they're responsible for being the sponsor. They're the ones that'll have the sign.
Well, there's a rule against it somewhere.
I have a rule book.
Do you?
Oh.
I'm almost convinced there's one.
If
Isn't
There
there?
is no subletting a booth, yeah, it says
Exactly,
it in
that's
there.
exactly what it is, yeah.
That's what it says,
is.
exactly, it says in there.
I mean, you can't go out and, whether you either make money on the booth by having somebody else pay for it for you, or
But no,
even.
subletting is something different. Subletting is allowing somebody else to occupy your space while you're gone. You're not even there. You've subletted the whole space.
So what I'm saying is, this
I'm not
particular,
sure.
Really? Okay.
they're the sponsor, but they're gonna just have these other entities in their booth, on a weekly basis.
As an example.
Promoting their businesses. So you're
Right.
gonna have one booth promoting, let's just go, this is what she's going at. You're gonna have one booth bought by SunFirst, and you're gonna have 5 different companies in there being sponsored.
Thank you.
Well,
Okay.
Let me
okay,
finish.
now,
We've
had- okay.
Let me just finish that way. Let me finish, that's where she's going at, and see, that's where she's going
And
at,
they
is
think he
that,
can bring in anybody he wants to theoretically, without us approving it.
So does the bookstore. Kelly Lang's been selling her books out in front of there. She's got to be, quote unquote, some kind of a
that's
co-sponsor.
entertainment.
Well, see, the thing is, in order to do this and do what they're doing, which is what is my house really worth, and how much can I afford, you've got to have a way of showing that. In other words, you've got to be able to pull that data from someplace, just like you can go on the MLS and look at a listing. If someone is interested in buying a home and they're in Palm Springs, you've got to ask them, well, how much do you want to spend? And let's take a look and see what you can afford. That data does not come from a real estate agent. It comes from a data source. That data source may be Franklin Loan, it may be Canyon National Bank, it may be anyone from the financial side. And then there are the other aspects, which is mostly, I presume, just an informational thing from the title and escrow services. What is it? Why do you need it? How do you use it? Type of thing. The financial data, though, is a different story. You got to get it from someplace. And it's really that they are providing information that you need in order to make any kind of a presentation of real estate, other than just saying, here we are, and here's listings that we can put up as pictures of the houses.
I don't think that's what people want when they're walking around VillageFest, personally. I mean, I love seeing that when you walk up and just seeing, like you said, kind of seeing the little things stuck up on these papers, how you read about the little houses and stuff. That I find interesting. To go
Well, I
down
think
there
it's-
and having this whole, hey, what's my house worth, and blah, blah, blah. I don't know if that's...
I think it's the same thing as the other sponsorships when we've got, Chevrolet or Cadillac out there. I think it's the same thing. I mean, that's not really Village Fest either, but as a sponsor, we've got a category that handles that.
But we're gonna have 4 separate businesses out of this.
But it's going to be very minor. In other words, they're going to be really, they have the booth. What there will be maybe is some materials from Franklin Loan Center that will show financial data of if you make this amount of money, you can afford this kind of house. If you can pay $1,500 a month, you can afford to buy a $250,000 house. It's basically information.
No, I appreciate that.
This is. I mean, it's a complex issue. You're
Yeah, but
absolutely right.
it should be. I mean, people are out there walking around with their dogs and a hot dog in their hand. I don't think it needs to be a complex issue.
Well, no, but it just is. There's legal
Public's option
reasons.
whether they stop or not.
Yeah.
If the public doesn't want to have that at night, then they just keep walking by.
It is probably.
Could I just say one thing? As far as having SunFirst GMAC be there, trying to provide a service and give information about real estate to those that are interested, that would just be us. There wouldn't be 4 other people, other companies in there. There would be only one sponsor for that week, providing possibly a piece of paper that has their name on it available in the booth. Instead of having, as the gentleman was saying, there are various aspects. Instead of having all of these people there, a title information and having mortgage information and having all these other aspects of information, each week there would only be mortgage information. Another week there would only be title information. Another week there would only be whatever other piece of information is vital to the whole process there. The rest of it would be SunFirst GMAC, just giving information out about the real estate.
I have no problem with SunFirst GMC real estate. If you guys set up a real estate booth, I have a problem with you guys kind of rotating your own little scenario. Hey, this week we're going to have this company, this week we're going to have that company.
Yeah, but that other company, they're not hanging signs about that
But
other
they are.
company. No, they're having little flyers.
It's just this would be a piece of paper, or actually maybe.
So why would another company then
Because they.
go through you?
Because, well, first of all, a financial lender or an escrow company or a title company, they're completely separate from the real estate companies and transactions. It's another world. There's a lot of information that the public is interested in that needs to know.
If that escrow company wants to be a part of VillageFest, then they need to come before us, I think, themselves and approach it.
They don't have anything to sell. They don't have anything to demonstrate. They don't have anything. I mean, this is information services. It's just if you sit down, say, let's sit down at the Chevy dealer, and he pulls up or hands you a flyer of all the different engines that Chevrolet makes and the horsepower of it. It's information that supports the product
And
itself.
GMAC financing.
Yeah.
Can I make a comment?
Yes.
please. Looking at the bigger picture, I mean, I think personally, I think what he's proposing here is valid. And I don't particularly, from a staff perspective, have a problem with having different disciplines represented in the booth. I think that adds, it's interactive, it's hands-on, he's not actually doing a transaction, making sales. I think when we cross that line, then we're going to have other disciplines other than real estate wanting to come in here and sell things under contract or whatever. But I think it adds, and I think there is an interest in the general public in having the real estate industry as a part of VillageFest.
Because when people walk by, they're just gonna pretty much see this.
See, I see this as,
That part.
I see this in real estate version of some of the other vendors we have in VillageFest to provide counseling or advisory kinds of services. It's educational and it's informative, and I think it could be of interest.
Well, I think it's like you said, it's interactive. There's a little bit more there than just the listings, and that's what I like about it. I understand what you're saying, but they're still the sponsor, and they will just have this one little entity in the booth. I think that's okay.
I think where I might have a problem, and I can't really tell much from the graphics, is if it's a very, almost a too professional booth with carpet and,
Well, that's what I was thinking.
and monitors sitting around, these black monitors.
That's why I asked if it's like laptops.
But if it's
with the pictures.
laptops, then it's more in keeping with a festival kind of feeling.
Right.
Well, Hugh's down there with all these.
But if you,
Well, that's why in the picture there's regular monitors. That's why I asked.
if it looks like an office.
That's
then
it.
there's- Yeah, right.
We don't want it to look like an office.
They're wireless. They'll be set up.
When I look at this drawing right here, that says something
Looks like
different
an
to me.
office.
Okay, that's,
That looks like a business exposition at the convention center.
Yeah, Mark?
Yes, sir.
Can we have a kind of an understanding here that this is first of all, real estate is so intensely of interest today, and I mean, this is like one of the hottest markets in the country right now. And everybody in the world wants to move here and is interested in what their home value is because the home values are going up. My only concern is that I don't think it would behoove the village to have an entity that's doing business there. In other words, if you have a client, you want to make an appointment with them, they're going to come to your office the next day, terrific, but it's got to be information, it's got to be interactive learning, what it's all about, what's the real estate market here in town, what's my house worth, if I want to buy a house down here, what do they cost, that sort of thing, and not take it to the next step. Okay?
No.
Somebody make a
Well,
motion?
I move that we approve Sunfirst.
Do I hear a second?
I'll second it.
Can't.
Thank you.
The chair can.
He can. He can't make a motion.
You can set your.
Chair can second.
I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, well, I got one eye.
Am I allowed to say aye? Oh, that's
Yeah,
right.
you can
Aye.
You can vote against your own vote.
vote. Okay.
All right then. Opposed?
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 One opposed. Okay then. Welcome, and we'll see you down there. I'm glad we have I hope we have an understanding of what we're looking for, the overall look of the event.
we put our start date to be later on in March on the application, so before we do anything, we'll show you and make sure it's
Okay.
to your liking.
Okay,
High tech,
Thank you.
village.
thank you.
Thank you very much.
Sorry, I've never had to vote as chairman.
Yeah, you never
I didn't know
have.
what to
But
do.
yeah, you can second, you can't motion.
I believe it.
Just to get it on the floor.
Yeah, so just get on the
Rachel Stetch. Handcrafted pillows, runners, placemats, clocks. etc. See those clocks now, we can hear them.
And you can stop hearing it. These are all the pictures and
You want that sign? That's fine.
You have a whole variety of things here.
Handbags.
It says dog, is it dog bandanas?
There's my dog.
And carriers.
And he fits in here, but he's a little big for this one.
There's some stuff in here.
Huh? Well, he fits, but this is more like a Chihuahua size. Okay. These some of the bandanas. These are some of the handbags.
Ooh, a very organized garage. Was that a good day?
No, it's like that all the time. Okay, these are some of the placemats. This one goes there.
She also sews custom to order sizes for table runners.
People have their own material,
wall
I'll
hangings.
custom make them. Make little kids' vests, and I just started embroidering.
There's doggies.
Oh, that's my bandana. That's all right. These are placemats. Sometimes I make the placemat and table runners to match the material that I have. That's it. That goes there. These I just started making for people that go to farmers market to get their veggies and their.
Is that your artwork on the front of those?
These come. It's computer chips that goes into my machine, and then I just pick the colors that I want to do.
But you don't make the bag.
I
Embroidery.
make the bag.
Oh, no.
Oh yeah, yeah. I make the bag.
These are done
It's
with
an
an
embroidery
embroidery
machine.
machine.
So you embroider those yourself?
Yes.
Can you
Right.
see one? Can you pass one around, please?
Yeah, I do everything myself.
What is the multitude? Like, do you have mostly clocks in your booth? Or I see in these pictures, there's a real variation.
Yeah.
Mostly
Right.
mostly the hand sewn stuff. I just started making the clocks.
I didn't have time to put my label in. I just finished them before I got here.
Now, the clocks are all made out of different exotic woods.
The wood's very beautiful.
African mahogany. This is African mahogany. This is laminated ebony and mahogany and colored wood.
Some of the handbags.
Various colors of wood laminated. African mahogany again with a different finish.
Very, very nice.
This is called lignum vitae. This is black walnut with a figured walnut base. This is a solid block of figured walnut. This is cocobolo. This is fiddleback myrtle, and this is oak with a rosewood stain. And this is also cocobolo. So I'm pricing them anywhere from $45 to $170.
And your dog bandanas.
One of the most popular items, believe it or not. A lot of people bring their dogs to the shows, and that's one of our best sellers.
I make the scrunchie instead of having to tie them, so that way,
It's a little
if they get loose somewhere, they won't choke to death if they get caught.
little elastic, so
So
it
the
slips
elastic
off.
will come off first.
And then anybody who has custom table sizes that they want, custom
Custom make.
shaped in the placemats or custom length on table runners, sofa throws,
And the
pillows.
embroidery on these is just out of a computer program? It's not your own artwork?
No,
It's an embroidery machine.
it's an
sewing
embroidery machine, and then you have to put the chips in to embroider them.
It's not
Wait.
it's a chip that's programmed right into the sewing machine that sews that on there.
Well, the clocks are very acceptable. don't allow clothing at Village Fest. Dog bandanas, any discussion?
We had those before.
Mm-hmm.
But they're not dirty, those. You've always, in the past, always said no to bags, except last week, the last meeting, we did let.
There was a reason though. The pillows and things, it's not, they're just assembled pillows. You know, some pillows are not, you know, you haven't painted on them, there's no artistic input there, it's assemblage.
I have to do all the cutting and the sewing.
Runners,
And the table runners are the same.
yeah. So, I don't think those would fall under the, you know, the guidelines according to the rules and regulations. The clocks definitely do.
We come as a team. Been together for over 40 years, I'm not gonna split up now.
Any discussion?
Well, according to the rules and regulation, I mean, you know, they don't meet 75% handcrafted. Correct?
Correct.
Well, when you say don't meet 75% handcrafted, all the material is cut by her. I mean, she doesn't make the material, obviously.
Right, and therein lies part of the problem. I mean, anytime that then somebody has been approved before, the materials have either been painted or they've, you know, one way or another, you know, they have been embellished, thank you, to make it more crafts, to make it more 75% handmade. And that's
So
not our rule. That's the
we
city
must have
rule.
misinterpreted handmade then. We assumed that if you take a raw product
Handcrafted.
and put it together.
Yeah, the things you might sell have to be 75% handcrafted. So you don't want to just sell the clocks and then you just.
No.
No, it's too long of a ride.
Too long of a ride just for one item.
Well, do I hear a motion or any discussion?
I'd move it under the rules, we deny.
Okay, thank you.
Do I hear a second?
Not done well yet.
Further discussion.
Well, up until, like I said, the last meeting, we never approved bags or anything of that sort. And I don't,
Wasn't it vintage?
they weren't, they were bags, they were
I don't
hand
even
bags, they were,
remember.
You know, the round ones.
yeah, they were.
It was some kind of fabric, I thought.
No, you did it because they were round and it was wrong pattern.
Oh, that's right.
Well, this is a wrong pattern too, then, isn't it?
Up until then, we had never, ever.
She's not up.
She's not.
Oh, it came over.
You want to move differently, or?
I don't know, I'm debating. I mean, we approved it 2 weeks ago, or maybe last, 4 weeks ago. It was, there's a lot of work to go ahead and put things together.
Oh, yeah,
It's not,
yeah.
I mean, they're hand cut, hand sewn together. I'm not so keen on the embroidery on those.
No, true. And yet that's how most embroidery is done. Put it- You have it digitized. You have
Oh,
the
of
image
course.
digitized and put the chip in it and then it goes.
But it's not their own artwork.
Right, so.
I don't think those would fly.
About the other pieces, I mean, the runners. I mean, if this had a real design work on it,
I think that would be fine.
the runners and
I second.
All in favor? Opposed? None.
So everybody voted the same way?
Yes. Don Bruno.
Joe?
Not here.
All right. Ready?
I have one more here.
What do you have? That's the one that came in later, I just had.
Ron Myers,
Yeah, I have that one, that's the next one.
Ceramic Pottery.
Yeah, that one probably just came in after I
So do we
posted
consider
it.
that an added starter? Or
Yeah, that'll be under added starter, yeah, because I already posted it.
would someone like to make a motion for added starters?
I'll make a motion for added starters.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None.
Okay, so Javon Myers.
Ron Myers,
So you've been moving? Hello.
Ceramic Pottery. I have
I
one.
think I packed.
You have one? You have one? Ron's got cash. This one has cash. This is
Here's me at work and some receipts for raw materials, etc.
Sherry, things anywhere right now?
I was at the West Coast Art Festival, the last one, and the next one, that's it. In private sales. Friends seem to like buying.
How long have you been doing this?
I've been doing ceramics for about 2 years, about two and a half years. Then suddenly got serious about it. It's all heavy stoneware. Yeah.
Well, that's a good example.
Got lots more.
That's good.
Yeah.
This piece isn't signed. Do you usually sign your pieces?
You know, I was working with having a stamp made, a glazed stamp made. I haven't perfected it yet, so now I'm hand signing them as I sell them.
Okay. 'Cause we like
I
to
was
see
working-
pieces signed.
I'm working on everything's under Ronware. Turns out there's another very famous ceramicist named Ron Myers. So I didn't want to interfere with his, he's all over the internet and he shows all over the country. So I'm using Ronware as my signature. So I've been signing them as at point of sale. Sometimes signing them to the person with the date, etc.
Well, I think these are very appropriate for VillageFest, and I wonder if there's any discussion or if someone would like to make a motion.
I'll make a motion that we accept Ron for
A
the
second.
village.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you
Opposed?
very much.
None. All right. We'll see you down there. Thank you.
Great, thank you.
Who's next?
Scott. else we needed to move in. So why don't both the Girl Scouts come up? One's for cookies, one's for membership. Two different booths.
Is it cookie time again?
Yes, we
I think I do wait.
You're fine. I know, and now we're back. Would you go ahead?
I'm Rebecca Hendrickson. I'm the leader of Cadet Troop 160 here in Palm Springs. And our troop and our service unit last year asked for your permission to sell at the street fair, and you granted it. We'd like to ask again this year if we could set up 2 booths on either ends and sell for 3 weeks, starting on March 11th. So that's what we'd like to ask for today.
How's that fit into your plans?
What?
Can I have 2 on one on each end, no problem?
Oh, yeah, I don't care. One's for membership, one's for cookies.
Oh.
Well, actually, what we were wondering is if we could have 2 for cookies on either end. And the reason for that, the reason that we're asking for it this year is because of the grocery strike. Because there's so many of the traditional venues that Girl Scouts have sold at, which are no longer available for us this year.
So you wouldn't
2
be,
cookies and 1 membership.
you wouldn't be soliciting memberships at these booths? You-
No, the booths are strictly for
So that would be
selling.
completely separate?
Yeah.
So that'll be 1 booth.
Well, is that okay with you to
And
do
2
that?
separate, I don't care.
Okay. Well,
And the
it's fine
cookie
with me.
sales would be just 3 weeks.
By the time you buy 1 box, you'll need another by
Yeah. Yeah, we hope so. Yeah.
Very good strategy.
She's just too.
Would someone like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the Girl
3
Scouts.
weeks.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
We gotta make up
None.
the $500 I spent last year.
Okay,
I
so,
sent them to, I bought $500 would have sent to all the Marines last year. Of course,
Oh, very good.
my brother's not over there, so that poor little girl doesn't have to make up that $500 somewhere.
Thank you very much.
thank you.
Okay.
And you would like to get a booth to solicit membership?
For membership, volunteers, adult volunteers, these are samples of our
Cookies? Oh, sorry.
cookies. Cookies come in Saturday, and they'll start going out, and then booths start in March.
And you want it for a limited time as well, I presume?
For membership, actually, we look all year round, and we look for volunteers all year round. I don't believe we'll be here all year round, but it's just for a limited time here at the Village Fest.
Okay, well, nonprofits are on a rotation basis, so
Okay.
that would be fine. Do I hear a motion?
I'm sure it's good stuff.
I move to approve
I'll
Girl
second.
Scouts.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None.
Who did
We'll
this?
see you down there.
Great, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Chris made the motion, nice.
On
The last one?
On the one before?
Oh.
I second.
Oh, maybe no. I think you made the motion on that.
I didn't say anything.
Oh.
The one before.
The one before, the runway.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, you moved for the
No, not
runway.
the Girl Scout cookies.
No, runway.
Oh,
I got Runwear, the Girl
Oh.
Scout cookies.
we didn't.
I can't remember.
Oh, you did them both together. Okay,
Yeah,
that's
we did
fine.
both
Okay,
together.
that's fine. Okay, that's fine.
They're cookies, come on now.
Membership cookies together. Okay, that's fine. Okay,
Okay.
that's fine. That's all I have.
Did you have this one in your packet, the sunshine?
Who's that one over?
Yeah,
Oh, did we skip that?
they weren't here. It wasn't on the list.
And the ones that came in after I posted the agenda and I hadn't done your package yet, I still go ahead and threw you guys.
So we
That way you
don't
have something to write on.
Sunshine
Go ahead and do Sunshine
Popcorn
Popcorn Company,
and
yeah.
Spring
that's-
Designs, did we do that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Sunshine Popcorn Company. Not
You
here.
wanna hear it?
Judy Henderson?
Is the other kettle corn?
They're
booth-
gone.
They're gone, that's
That's
what
why
I
I asked
thought.
her to come to this meeting.
What happened to the girls with the flavored popcorn?
They haven't started yet.
Yeah, I've been looking.
Darn.
Okay.
Yeah, right. That was good. Prices.
All right, so this one, these all go over here. All right, let's take another one. Yeah, after all that. Helen, Welch.
Helen Welch?
Sunshine
Popcorn?
Popcorn?
Helen there.
Sorry, Susan Welch,
Good.
hold on.
That's it. Okay, make you count my pen on the paperwork.
And the masses are jonesing for kettle corn.
Well, you knew I was gonna call you the minute you left.
Yes.
Hi. I'm Julie Henderson. And I'm sorry, when someone said bring samples, I just brought samples to eat.
Oh, terrible.
You know, that's what I think of when I think of kettle, you know, that's what I think of when I hear samples.
That's what they think of.
So I'm gonna leave these bags and the smaller bags for anybody who wants them.
Refiller bags.
This is,
Well, you're at the college now, right?
yes,
So you work there.
this, huh?
Your stuff's good.
Okay, thanks. This is the large when it's filled up, and it's the medium about right here. And then I have small bags. So I'm gonna leave these and some bags.
Excuse me, is this your display?
Is that how
Yes,
you're gonna do the Village Fest?
yes.
Maybe you need to do the tent.
It's
I
actually
had that,
really cute, though.
I had that completely made myself.
It's not as hokey as you
It
think.
starts a precedent, and we
This is
have,
true.
we have those kind of vendors at, you know, Bike Weekend and other big events.
I do have another, I do have the other one,
The tent.
but I do have the tent, I do have the big one that you stir with an oar. This one is much simpler, I made it up from scratch, the whole cart.
But you're gonna have to use the other one for Village Fest.
Really? What, why is that?
Because we don't allow carts down at Village Fest. We don't allow like van things.
You know, when I built it, the law was that things like Village Fest had to be on a cart. So I was penalized when I did that, because I had to, that's why I made it.
Well, you need to look at the standards for booths at Village Fest, and it speaks to size and height and, you know, how they're put together. And we have a concern that we're in a commercial area and we have shops that need exposure as well as the vendors. And we just haven't permitted anything like this in the event yet, have we?
Well, I do have the other one, the big bin, the tent.
Yeah, that's what you'll need.
But that's nice too, I've seen that stuff.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what you'll need to use for Village Fest, yeah.
Is that okay with you?
Sure, it's fine.
Okay.
I just have to get it together. I'd need a couple of weeks to put that back together. But that's fine.
All right. Someone like to make a motion to approve Sunshine Popcorn Company?
I move that we approve Sunshine Popcorn Company.
One second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None. All right, we'll see you down there. Thank
Cool,
you.
thank you. I'm leaving
It
this.
smells good, thanks.
Kettle corn. You're welcome.
That's cool.
Yeah, no, that's right there.
Wait till we go on television.
Can I just move the popcorn over a little bit?
Oh, you did have to do that.
Yeah, move it over here.
Okay, I represent my rose garden, hand painted, and they all come in a gift basket. Dishwasher safe.
Just 1 second.
You need to state the reason she was approved as a food vendor is because we all don't have one down there. We had a popcorn guy down there before.
I will state that we are taking in another popcorn, kettle corn vendor because our old one has left. Which is what I thought.
You should have her application over there.
This is the only brochure I brought with me.
What's the name?
What is your name?
Rose garden, rose party, I'm gonna go.
Wait a minute, what's your name?
Helen Welch.
Yeah, this is it. Hand painted glass, bottles, and gift bags.
Yes, I make my own bags from scratch, from plain paper, hand painted, and I emboss it.
Could you please pass that around so we can see it?
Yeah. Everything is washable in cupware, glassware, sorry.
Do you show anywhere at this time?
No. And I have message in the bottles, wine bottles. Comes with different sayings. Sorry. Excuse me. It could come with candy or little tea light candle burners. As a gift inside, sometimes I have pretty little sayings, the same way that's on the top of the box. They go inside. Miss you, love. Wish you were here. Happy birthday. They come in all colors. I'm sorry. These are.
Do you make pictures of how you display these? I mean, do you display them in the basket? Is that how you?
They're all gonna have a basket because it's safer. They'll all be in a set. So when somebody orders, they order the set, or they take it right there. Most of the time, they'll take it right there.
$99 of that.
That's when they order for weddings. They get the 12 glasses.
Oh, okay, is that okay?
Mm-hmm. Would you like me to demonstrate that I paint?
Did you bring photographs and receipts, or?
What kind of receipts? I didn't understand receipts of
Paint
what?
receipts,
For
remember what I
paint,
told
any of
you?
your materials,
Paint receipts.
Yeah, remember I told you
any
that?
materials that you use.
Yesterday.
Well, I brought my paint.
Well, you can furnish those to us at a later date if you're approved.
Yes, yes.
But we would need to see them.
Did you want to see me paint?
Do you want to see your paint?
I want to see you paint. Sure, why
Yes,
not?
please.
Paint a rose, absolutely. What do you mostly have? I mean, do you sell anywhere right now, or?
No, I'm just starting out.
Oh, I see.
And my granddaughter decided that I should do something with my work, with my life.
So what would you be selling? I mean, like people could walk up and buy just 2 glasses then?
Oh,
Or
yeah.
would you just be selling?
Yeah, but it'll come, everything comes in a set. And this way it comes in a basket or a pretty gift box.
A set how? Like there's 6 glasses?
No, 2 for lovers, really. That's what
Okay,
I
so just
specialize in.
I see.
I do the, anniversary of the marriage. Rose.
She's all right. They're pretty.
It's birthday, anniversary. I make all colors for the golden anniversary. Happy birthdays. I don't sign them because I feel that the people that want to buy them, they want their initials, since it's going to be made really mainly